Welcome back to The Perspective. I'm with Kennedy Ashinze, founding editor-in-chief and creative director of Globetrotter. So why is Globetrotter in Jakarta?
It's a great question. Actually, not to be biased, I do live here, but my wife's Indonesian as well. But actually, in the region, Jakarta has always been an attraction. You know, I've been coming here. I came here, I think, 4 or 5 years ago for the first time, and I love. And I've kind of visited a couple of the cities in the region, and Jakarta to me is, like I'm sure a lot of your viewers know, is at the cusp of something really special. You know, I think they have amazing people, amazing energy, and we just felt it was the ideal springboard for us for the region. Outside of the fact that we print in Jakarta, we actually used to print in Singapore, but we print in Jakarta, and when we had made the decision to move down this way, we just felt like we felt very comfortable with that decision. We really, after meeting various people, it was just the ideal hub for us. You know, I felt like in the region, there are a lot of beautiful places in the region, but I think the people matter, and I think we're very comfortable with the people of Jakarta, and that was kind of at the heart of the decision, basically.
Well, let's talk about people in Jakarta and what sets this place apart from other ASEAN cities. Cultural? Is it breadth or is it numbers? 34 million people in the greater Jakarta area.
Well, you can't deny that part, of course. So there's that attraction with the numbers. But on the cultural side, I mean, I think going back to my point earlier, the people matter. Like I've been to some cities, and I'm not going to name any names because we do some business in some of these cities, but there's just a genuine connection I have, and I think I've heard that from a lot of foreigners as well in Jakarta. The people, there's a genuine care there, even if it's not an English-speaking country, but you feel comfortable. You feel comfortable, and that's always, the human side is always first. And outside of the amazing food and amazing culture, we've got the Balis and the whole bit, and I've yet to see a lot more, but it's exciting for me, outside of the chaos with traffic and all that stuff, but I don't know, I just think it's exciting. And you see it in the air, you know, there's a lot of this entrepreneurial energy in the air, and you know, on our side, on the creative side, we love that. You know, we love, you know, the small designer or fashion designer or restaurateur and bit. So it's very inspiring, actually. And to me, coming from Chicago, it's almost like dialing back, because, you know, we never get to see things in their inception in the U.S. You know, they've already happened. The market is already connected. But here, there's this raw energy. It feels new. It feels like everyone is excited about starting something, you know, and even getting their hands dirty. Like they're really proud of working. When I mean working, meaning creating, and that's something that you don't see as much. And it helps, you know, obviously the prices help, you know, that's also a factor. So it's been good. So far, so good. We like it.
That's great. Well, you bring up Chicago, you spent some time there. I spent a large amount of time there. And you mentioned entrepreneurial things. Chicago is a city with a lot of business activity and a lot of artistic activity.
Absolutely.
Do you see that breakdown reflected, obviously in a very different setting here in Jakarta?
I see it trending that way. Absolutely. Okay. I really see it trending that way, and I think that was the connection here for me. You know, there's some things I see, I walk around. Unfortunately, Jakarta is not really a walk-in city, so that makes it a little tough to connect on the human, you know, with some of these things, but I think it's getting there. I think the people of Jakarta are getting pretty open, even in their taste in music and the kind of things. I've been to a lot of interesting things that have been curated here that are pretty inspiring. So I think it's getting there. Sometimes I'm doing things and sometimes I forget I'm in Jakarta. I think I'm in some cafe in Chicago or something. So it's good. It makes me stay here longer, and you know, we're always trying to recruit friends from out west to come visit, and we've had a couple of visitors that, you know, they've been here more than once, so it's good.
Is it just for rich people, for elites?
Globetrotter?
Yeah.
Absolutely not. Like, absolutely not. It's completely, I mean, at the heart of it, it's supposed to transcend and knock down all of those. It doesn't, it's definitely not for rich people. It's for people who are just open-minded, open to the world, open to collaborating, you know, open to connecting with other parts of the world. Like we're all connected to different parts of the world, either directly or indirectly. If someone is, if my brother lives here or my wife lives there or is from there, there's always this intertwined thing that's happening right now, and that's pretty much at the core of who the magazine's for. Obviously, we try to educate our readership, and we try to educate them with what we show, but it's absolutely not for. I mean, we curate it beautifully in a rich way, but it's not for rich people. Absolutely not.
For the informed.
For the informed.
Okay. One more touch on it's for progressives. There's an artistic. I just wonder, where do we, if there's a line drawn between when a subject, for example, and we'll talk more about interview subjects after the break, becomes too much of a business person or too much of an artist. Is there a line? Or, I mean, is there supposed to be a middle ground that Globetrotter fits?
Between the subject?
Between, if we were to polarize a pure artist to a pure business person.
Right.
Can you fit both in the magazine?
Can they coexist?
Can they coexist?
Absolutely, and that's a great question, actually. And I think, with most publications, it's either it's sometimes a specific topic, it's niche.
Well, let's revisit this straight after the break. I'll ask the question again.
All right, sure.
Join us in just a second on The Perspective.